All right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So, listen, things continue to get worse and worse for MMA's biggest superstar, Conor McGregor. He has now been dropped from a brand that he started. He is the face of this brand, it is his brand. Proper Number 12 Whiskey has dropped Conor McGregor as a sponsor, as the face of their whiskey, their product, their company. Okay. I talked about the other day how certain things you can come back from. Throwing a dolly, losing your cool, throwing a dolly through a window of a bus, slapping a fan's phone out of their hand, even, losing your shit and slapping an old man in a pub. You can come back from those sort of things, but there are certain things that are much, much tougher to come back from. And one of those is assault on a female. Let's just get real. This is a stigma that will follow Conor around and will hang over his head like a black cloud that is constantly raining on him. Now, it might fade a little bit over time, throughout time, as far as how, venomous people feel about it. But just to be completely honest, this is something that will never go away. And I don't want to say it's unfortunate because listen, if he did this and if it is true that he did this, then he deserves every bit of what's coming to him, okay? But I have been very expressive and honest on this channel about the details of this woman's case being very, very inconsistent, very, very shaky. Okay. And so if this is something that she is fabricating just to get herself a little bit of money, she does not understand that this is going to do more than just affect Conor McGregor's immediate pocketbook. Okay. I mean, this is the second sponsor that has dropped. He's dropped from the Hitman game. IO Interactive dropped him. Did a video about that yesterday. Now, the brand that he helped to start, Conor McGregor was there when Proper 12 Whiskey lifted off the ground. He was one of the front runners that helped to lift it off of the ground. Okay. And now he is being dropped from them. All right. So I'm not going to trample all over the story. I'm going to go ahead and read this article. We will discuss it just for a minute. And then that's it. I just wanted to get this out there. Proper 12 drops Conor McGregor after sexual assault ruling. Conor McGregor and Proper 12 have been linked since the whiskey brand's inception in 2018, but not any longer. On Tuesday, Proper 12 parent company Proximo Spirits announced it will no longer feature McGregor in association with the brand, according to the report from Irish Independent. Since 2021, Proximo Spirits has been the 100 PC owner of Proper Number 12 Irish Whiskey. Proximo Spirits said, "Going forward, we do not plan to use Mr. McGregor's name and likeness in the marketing of the brand." The decision comes in the wake of last Friday's jury ruling that McGregor is liable for a 2018 sexual assault of a woman at a Dublin hotel. The jury ordered McGregor to pay approximately $260,000 in damages to the victim, Nikita Hand. Hand said McGregor and his friend James Lawrence had sex with her against her will while she was intoxicated, which resulted in physical and emotional trauma. The jury found Lawrence not liable. How is Lawrence not liable, but Conor McGregor is? It's for a different video, Corey. It's for a different video. I'm, I'm not going. I'm trying to because I don't want to go into all of the things that have reared their ugly head as absolute, utter inconsistencies. in this woman's story. I don't want to go into that in this video. This video is just more on a factual basis, just letting the people know that proper number 12 whiskey has dropped Conor McGregor. The jury found Lawrence not liable. McGregor has maintained his innocence and Tuesday confirmed that he plans to appeal the ruling. Proximo Spirits is the second company to cut ties with McGregor in as many days. IO Interactive, the parent company, blah, 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 with the hitman. We just talked about that. So the article is really short. That's pretty much it. But let me say this. So it says here that, Conor maintains his innocence and Tuesday confirmed he plans to appeal the ruling. Okay. Even if he appeals this ruling, okay, let's say he appeals the ruling. And let's say that, the next time around, this jury decides that he is not responsible for this assault against Nikita Han. Okay. This stigma of being a man and the type of man who would physically, sexually assault a woman will follow him around until the day he dies. Okay? So, listen, I just want to be clear. If he did it, he deserves all of this. Okay? But if he did not do it, or even if there's a question, even if they were both just really drunk and had some rough sex that was consensual at the time, but something that, maybe affected her in a really negative way later. I don't know, she felt really bad about it emotionally. And so, there is a very gray area there between, oh, we're drunk as hell, we're hyped up on cocaine, and we have some rough, drunk sex, and then I'm holding you down and forcing myself up on you completely and utterly against your will. Okay? Um, as crazy as it sounds, there's kind of a gray area there. Okay? I mean, I don't know what she was telling herself in that moment. It says here that she was very inebriated. And part of her complaint is that they took advantage of her in an inebriated state and had sex with her against her will. But yet James Lawrence has not been found guilty, so as far as they are concerned, it was consensual. She was seen on CCTV footage and all kinds of different security footage being affectionate with both Conor McGregor and James Lawrence, kissing on them, hugging on them, making out with them, kissing on their neck in the hotel basement. Also in a cab, they had footage of it. They also had it in an elevator where they seemed like they were, this is not saying that later on in the night he couldn't have assaulted her. I'm not saying that. But the one for James Lawrence, this footage that the authorities had of her being in a flirtatious, sort of amicable situation with James Lawrence supposedly happened, according to her, happened several hours after this violent assault by Conor McGregor. So that's, to me, is, the biggest thing about this, that there's just question marks. There's a lot of question marks. I'm not going to go into it. I'm not going to make a big thing out of it because I've already done a couple of videos on this. And it's something I don't even really like doing videos on it and discussing it that much, to be completely honest, because there's been at least one time when I did the first video where I had a woman come after me, calling me a grape apologist, and, oh, there's some serious red flags coming off of you, almost like I'm the type of guy that would assault a woman. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa now. I'm not being accused of anything and never have been, so slow your roll. This is simply from an objective look, from an objective perspective, you're forced to look at this and look at the inconsistencies in her story, and you're forced to question the whole thing. You have to, unless you're the type of person that just wants to pin the guy against a wall just because, oh, you don't like him, oh, well, he's obviously violent, and I think that's where a lot of this comes from, because Conor McGregor has obviously shown to have some violent tendencies. And I'm not talking about the fact that he's a UFC fighter. There are a lot of UFC fighters that out in the real world, they're completely harmless, law abiding citizens, okay? Conor is not that. Conor obviously has had some issues with violence in the past, slapping the man in the pub, you know, hastily slapping a fan's phone out of their hand and breaking their phone or taking their phone from them and throwing it or something like that he did. Um, you know, Getting upset with Habib Nurmagomedov, picking up a dolly and throwing the dolly at a bus, breaking a window, actually cutting a couple of people's faces that were inside the bus. I mean, he supposedly punched a DJ in Italy in the face for no apparent reason a couple of years back. He's this type of thing has been a trend for Conor ever since he became this massive star. And I have a feeling that, you know, this is his background. He comes from this huge amount of success and money and the ability to buy all these drugs. Now, I do think that he has a problem with addiction. I was going to say straight out, but here's the thing. You have a problem with an addiction and then you go and assault someone, especially a sexual assault. You can't use the, oh, well, I was high on this and high on that, the reason I did that, so it's okay. No, it's not okay because you still assaulted someone and you still have to pay for that. And I don't necessarily mean money, whether it's a criminal charge or a civil charge. In this case, it was a civil charge because the prosecution's office in Dublin, when this case was first presented to them back in 2018, they did not see enough evidence to proceed with a criminal case or any sort of criminal conviction. That is notable in this case. All right. She had to go back and actually file this civil case, which now that the judgment has been granted on her behalf, that she won this case, and now Conor McGregor is held liable for this sexual assault that happened back in 2018. As a result of this, it's starting to affect his livelihood. So, some people thought at first that it was just going to be the 250 G's that he had to pay her. Not necessarily. Now he's lost a deal with IO Interactive, a huge deal that he had with this video game company. Everybody's heard of the game Hitman. Huge franchise, okay? And he's been dropped from that. Now today, the very following day, Proper Number 12 is following suit and dropping him from as a sponsor for their brand. How far is this going to go? How far is this going to go? It does make you wonder. And I can't say that I feel bad for the guy because I don't know him personally. And honestly, what kind of person that Conor McGregor is completely irrelevant to me and my life. I just got to be completely honest about that. But it does cause you to wonder if he is actually guilty of this, then things are as they should be. And it is perfectly normal and expected and anticipated that this will continue to happen to him, that these brands will continue to not want to be associated with him based on these recent charges and these recent findings. Okay? But at the end of the day, as a practical and objective thinker, you can't help but step back and look at all of the inconsistencies in this woman's story and testimony regarding the events that took place that night and wonder, damn, that would really suck for him if this is not a fact and this woman is just trying to get some money off of him. But now, what she doesn't understand with this lie, if it is, with this lie, she has not only costed him the $250,000 that he has to pay her for damages, she's now costed him 2 brand deals so far, one of them being his absolute biggest brand deal with proper number 12 whiskey. Now, listen, they can't take away the money that he already has. They can't take away the money that he's already made with the company. They probably can affect any sort of shares that he may have in the company. He probably can be forced into like some sort of buyout or something like that, probably. I don't know, man. This thing is getting worse and worse and worse for him. And anyway, I just wanted to put it out there. What do you guys think, man? What do you guys think? I mean, it all comes down to, did he do this or did he not do this? The story is inconsistent as all get out. And if you've not listened to Nikita Hand's side of this story and what she is alleging happened that evening, what she initially told the authorities, and then what she told the authorities later once she came back and filed the civil suit, you owe it to yourself to do a deep dive into this if it's something that you're interested in. And because there are definitely some inconsistencies there. But yeah, things continuing to trend in this direction for MMA's biggest star, Conor McGregor. But anyway, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you've not, and let me know what you guys think about this down below. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.